What if I told you that your planner could be a secret weapon against wallet draining habits? Not with magical stickers or pretty washi tape, just good old fashioned pen and paper savvy. The kind that translates scribbles into actual dollars saved. Welcome to the world of planner based budget hacks, where tracking your spending in the same place that you're planning your life actually leads to more cash in your pocket or in your account. Let's start with why this works. Research shows that physically writing down expenditures increases your awareness and reduces overspending because the act of having to log every single latte just feels more real than watching ones and zeros add up or disappear in an app on your phone. Putting pen to paper engages your brain's memory center, making you pause and really consider every single purchase before you make it. In other words, your planner turns that vague idea of, I want to spend less money, into real, tangible accountability. Now, back in the day, us oldies had physical checks that came with checkbooks. Some of us still have them. And in that checkbook register, you would physically write down every expenditure and every deposit. Because we didn't have online banking when most of us got our first or second jobs. So think of these tips and tricks as like a return to yesteryear and a reminder that maybe us old fogies do know what we're talking about every once in a while. Tip number 1, track your fun funds. At the start of each week, choose a small box in your weekly spread and label it fun funds or coffee cash or, whatever floats your goat. Decide on a dollar amount that you are comfortable with, when it comes to spending on non-essentials. And then write that dollar amount in the box. And then every single time you make a discretionary purchase, you subtract that purchase from that fund. So it might look like coffee, $4.75, happy hour, $6.19, that bookish roll of washi tape that you just had to have, $3.27. And by the end of the week, you have a very clear, concrete picture of where your discretionary fund went. And you might be wondering, well, why does this even work? Well, first of all, the act of logging it is a physical pause in your day. And second, just seeing the running total reminds you of your spending limits. Studies on mental accounting show that when people set small, clear budgets, like $20 a week for extras, they actually end up spending 20 to 30% less in those categories. And that can add up really fast. Number 2, a cashless envelope system. Look, paying in cash is a great way to curb your spending, but most of us don't really carry it around anymore. So what you could do is dedicate a single page of your planner every week, every 2 weeks, every month, however you choose, however you get paid, whatever works easiest for you. And break your budget down into categories. Things like groceries, dining out, subscriptions. Allocate your budget into those categories. $300 for groceries, $100 for dining out, whatever works for you in your budget. These are your personal numbers and what you're comfortable with and what works for you and your family. And as you spend, just like with the fun funds, you're going to deduct in every category until that category reaches 0. This hack taps into the principle of mental earmarking. Research indicates that people are more disciplined when they mentally segregate their funds. So by labeling that $100 as dining out, you're a lot less likely to raid those funds for a 2 a.m. Shein haul. Number 3, create a subscription tracker. This is just a slice of your planner dedicated to tracking all of those tiny little monthly subscriptions that we all pay for and a lot of us tend to even lose track of. Streaming platforms, monthly box subscriptions, that meditation app you signed up for in your app store and used for a week then forgot about. List every single subscription and what it costs. And don't forget to include the renewal date for that subscription. So when you update your monthly spread, you can look at that tracker and ask yourself, did I even use this month? For me, I make a check mark next to them every time I use them the first time, and then I know that it is an active, useful subscription. If I haven't put a check mark next to it, that subscription is gone the following month. You can always come back to it at a later date, but why do you continue to pay for subscriptions that you are not even using? Because when you start really paying attention and you see $14.99 for Netflix and $9.99 for Hulu and $2.99 a month for Heyday and, all of these things that add up so quickly, you're going to start wondering, do I need all of these all at once? Listen, we canceled our Netflix a few months ago and haven't missed it because we have all the other streaming services. So dropping one or two doesn't really affect our daily life. And when something comes out on Netflix that we really want to watch, like forgive me, but I desperately want to watch the documentary on the poop cruise. I'm sorry. And I'm so sorry for those people who were stuck on that cruise, but I want to watch it. So next month, I'm probably going to drop Paramount and pick Netflix back up so that I can watch things on Netflix. But I'm trying to get a lot better about rotating through my streaming services. It's a work in progress, but you know, we all have to start somewhere. So take a good hard look at your subscriptions, write them down every single month and track the ones that you really are using and see if you can get rid of the ones that you're not. Number 4, the receipt dump. Choose one day a week, generally probably a Sunday, and spend 10 minutes collecting all of the receipts that you've amassed over the week and list them all out in your planner. Write down the purchases, total them up, and then you can move that data into your category cashless envelope system tracking. Or you can combine them and do them all at the same time. This way you're clearing out the debris from your brain and from your purse. But best of all, it allows you to see patterns. And it gets you ready to plan smarter for next week. Because sometimes we make these little purchases and they don't really register. And then we just like scoop out all the receipts at the end of the week or when our purse is just getting too messy to find anything and we just throw them in the trash. When if we actually took the time to write them all out and we notice we're going to CVS 3 times a week for chocolate covered pretzels, maybe not the best decision overall, budget-wise or lifestyle wise. I'm not here to judge. I love a good chocolate covered pretzel. But when spending becomes a habit, we don't always notice that we're doing it. So taking time every week to look at the receipts and see where the leak in the boat is can really help you, zero in on where your money is going and maybe some habits that you might want to break. Number 5, a savings goal tracker. Your planner is not just for expenses. It can be a cheerleader for your savings too. Dedicate a page or a section to a visual bar graph that you get to color in every time you add money into your savings account. Every time you dump change into that change jar on the counter. Make it a visual representation of what you're saving up for. Maybe it's a vacation. Maybe you need a new car. Maybe you want to replace the carpet in your house. Whatever it is, having a visual reminder of where you are, plus the double whammy of seeing your progress, can be very, very motivating. It can be as simple or as ornate as you want it to be. It's your planner. You know what's going to work best for you. It can be anything from 12 cents to $100, but every time you color in a bar, you're going to feel so good about the progress that you're making. Psychologists call this goal visualization, and studies show that seeing even incremental progress really does increase your motivation and your follow-through. Number 6, a price comparison log. Before you buy any big ticket item, think electronics or appliances, or even that fancy planner you have your eye on for next year. Jot down the price from a few different websites and or physical stores. Keep them in your planner for a quick reference. That way, when it is time to buy, you're going to know if you're getting the best deal. If you see one of those websites, announcing a huge sale, you're going to be able to see, is that sale really good? Or did you raise the price, then mark it down? Because when I put it in my planner 6 months ago, the price was what you're saying the sale price is now. Your planner can be your personal price detective. And tracking the prices multiple times throughout the year can really help you see that you're getting the best deal when it is time to finally make that purchase. Number 7 is a bill tracker. This is about as basic as it gets for budgeting in your planner. Just note the recurring bill, the date it's due, and how much you owe. Listen, forgetting to pay your bills on time is something that I call an ADHD tax. And when we don't find a place to record these things, we often end up with late payments or higher interest fees, and we damage our credit reports. And you can avoid all of that simply by tracking when your bills are due. For me, I do it in the monthly calendar in my planner. At the end of every month, when I'm going to set up the new month, I go into all of my bills, write them into my planner, and then I go and I schedule them to be paid on their due date. And I know that in this day and age, most people probably have auto pay set up. So this might not be something that resonates with you. But for those of us who have fluctuating incomes, it's not always a safe bet for us to auto pay, because what if we don't have that money when the bill comes due and then we end up overdrawn? So if you're like me and you prefer to pay your bills on the day they're actually due, this is a great way to keep track of it and ensure that you're not forgetting anything. Number 8, an impulse purchase buffer. In your planner, create a maybe section. Just a page where you can write down the non-essential items that caught your eye, but don't actually purchase them at the time you see them. So if you're walking through Costco and you see that new huge $50 candle and your entire psyche is like, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Don't get it. Wait, write it down. Write down the words $50 candle. And if that is not enough to jar you out of the impulsivity of buying it, maybe waiting 72 hours from the time you write it down will curb that for you, because chances are the urge will pass. And if it doesn't pass, revisit the maybe section. And if you truly want it, you can't stop thinking about it, the money is available in your budget, cross it off the maybe list and get thee to Costco. But I promise you that this simple record and wait habit can cut your impulse spending by up to like 80%. So try implementing a purchase buffer and see if that helps curb some of those impulse purchases. Number 9, a roundup savings challenge. Every time you record a purchase, round it up to the nearest dollar and bank the change. At the end of the week, that difference gets put into your savings. So say you buy a coffee and it's $6.42. You're going to write $7 as your purchase amount. And then in your savings, you're going to put 58 cents. It doesn't sound like a lot, but over a month, over 3 months, over a year, you would be shocked at how literal pennies can add up into actual money. And now a little bonus tip, add a monthly financial reflection page to the end of every month of your planner. Write down some quick prompts to help you think through your spending mindset that month. Things like your top spending surprises, your biggest savings wins, one thing you're going to do differently next month. Reflection is research backed to improve both self-awareness and future performance. It keeps you honest and it helps you refine your budgeting as real life examples of your spending and saving start to make a picture over the long term. And through all of this, please don't forget to celebrate your wins, because if your planner becomes all about logging minus $20 here, minus $18.99 here, minus $14.32 here, it can start to feel like a tally of losses. Flip that narrative. Reserve a small section of every week for something like savings victories and write down every single time you saved money. Even if it's something just like, I didn't buy that $50 candle at Costco. I'm a little obsessed with the $50 candle at Costco. I would never, but I would also never judge anyone who did because they're really pretty. But other things that you could do for this is like received a surprise $5 check for the Red Bull class action lawsuit I forgot I signed up for 7 years ago. Or I found $3 on the ground. Or even I cooked dinner instead of ordering pizza. Those little victories flood your brain with dopamine. And they make budgeting feel rewarding instead of just restrictive. Over time, you're going to start to recognize your wins in real time, and you'll think twice before raiding your fun money for something that maybe you want, but not enough to give up the $17. So there we have it. Some planner hacks that don't just involve only writing in black and white or adding sticky notes to keep track of whatever. Just something a little different this week that is a little more real world practical than just the other planner hacks that I've shared over the last few weeks. So go ahead and pull your planner out, carve out 5 minutes and implement one of these budgeting planner hacks and see if it works for you. See if it actually improves your spending and saving mindset by including these things where you're planning the rest of your life. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope that this video resonated with you. I hope that you got something useful out of it. Don't forget to smash all those YouTube buttons for me and leave me a comment below and let me know which one of these hacks you're most likely to implement into your everyday planner. I love you so much and I will see you next time. Bye.